Let's go to Doug, our final caller of the day. Navy veteran, San Diego. Go ahead.
No, actually, I'm in Rapid City, South Dakota.
You know what? I read a story about San Diego earlier today within a migrant town, and so I saw the San Diego, and I just went there. I didn't even think South Dakota, but yep, go ahead.
Okay, so I wanted to tell you two things. My father was an officer on submarines, and he was in the Med during the 6 Days War, and he actually witnessed the attack on the Liberty from his submarine.
Wow. Did you even know, when you called in, did you know I was going to air the Phil Turney interview? Because I'm airing it right after your call.
No, I know. I actually changed I was going to talk to you about the COVID vaccine, but then you said that, and I figured I'd tell you this.
What ship was he on? Which one was he on?
The USS Amberjack.
That's going to come up. That's going to come up in the interview. Wow.
Oh, is it really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He told me that they witnessed the attack. He got the distress call. They witnessed the attack. They shot film of the entire attack through the periscope.
Wow.
They pulled in. They went to both the Liberty and the Amberjack pulled into Malta, which is a port over there in the Med. After the attack, he said 2 CIA agents came on board the submarine, took all the films, called the crew in, had them basically read them the riot act, told them that they ever talked about what they saw, they'd go to federal prison for the rest of their lives. I think they had them sign something, and then they left.
Everything you just said, this is crazy, and this just shows how real it is, folks. I'm so glad you got in, Doug. That was a God thing right there. Everything you just said is exactly what Phil told me. Everything you just said is the exact same thing that I heard from Phil. You didn't even know you didn't even know you were going to be followed by that.
No.
Wow.
So my father, he's one of the most amazing people I've ever met. He is not afraid of anything or anyone. I've tried to convince him for 10 years now to write down, and I've corresponded with survivors from the Liberty, and they begged me, please get him to write down what he saw. And, they wanted to talk to him, but he absolutely refused. He's scared to death. He's afraid he's going to lose his pension, and they're going to send him to jail. So it's a shame. But, that's the way that they handled it. They came on and just threatened everybody.
Well, that's an amazing confirmation of exactly what we're going to hear from Phil Turney here in just a short minute, Doug. So I'm glad you got in. I thank you for that call.
That our government won't do. From LBJ to Donald J. Trump, the president right now will not touch his subject. It's buried like anything you could ever believe. And we're alive and we're telling the truth. And we asked President Trump, hey, you're opening up JFK, you say, RFK, MLK Jr. What about the USS Liberty? It's been almost 58 years. Tell the truth about it. It was a pre-planned attack, and our government set us up to be slaughtered by a foreign government, and they couldn't wait to do it. They enjoyed what they did. They enjoyed killing American sailors on the high seas. Airplane after airplane after airplane.
So these were aerial assaults?
Yeah, by Mystere and Mirage jets, French jets.
Was there anything under the water, or was it all aerial?
Well, there were submarines there. There were 2 American subs, the Amberjack and the Andrew Jackson, and there was also a Russian sub under us. Russian sub, a nuclear sub. And I got up to the main deck, and the 2 men that I had just left there were vaporized. All you saw was pieces of meat and bone and blood dripping all down the side of the bulkheads.
This was on the gunner's deck?
Yeah, it was on the forecastle. There was 450 caliber machine guns on that ship. 2 in the front of the ship on the forecastle and 2 midships. They took out every tuning antenna on that ship, and every watertight door on that ship was hit within 3 or 4 seconds. They know exactly what they were doing and how to do it.
Well, that's where I was going to go. It sounded like they had the blueprint for the ship, and they knew this is where we wanted to do the damage.
That's what they did, exactly.
So someone had to give him that.
Yeah, well, the pictures and everything else. And
Do you think that was what was happening the day before? They were doing
no,
recon?
I think this attack was planned a year in advance.
What, to this day, you're saying the excuse that is given is accident. How offensive is that to you?
It's so offensive, it makes me angry at our own government.
Go through it and be betrayed. I can't even imagine what that would do to a man. I mean, that would be a totally different, you know, you're not just telling war stories that you got to survive and come home and be with your family. You're telling a story of betrayal that lives on for 50 years.
Yeah, they've been twisting that knife in the survivor's back for 58 years. And our government right now is still twisting that knife by holding the truth back. The American people deserve the truth. They pay the bills. They get people like me and others to go in the military to serve their country. We took an oath to protect our country from all enemies, foreign and domestic. What we're doing, we're fighting a foreign government that tried to murder us all, and our own government, a domestic government that set us up to be murdered, and they're covering it up. Both governments are covering it up.
Well, and I guess I can kind of combine these two questions here. One is, you've done a lot of interviews. There's definitely maybe more national interest in the story now than ever, I would think. And I think the geopolitical conversation that I take part in when I do my news coverage is, we're told that Israel is our greatest ally, and you're not supposed to question that. And somehow, for years, as you just pointed out, even going back to when you were serving, we've been footing the bill for Israel. For years, we've been footing their bill. For years. Still to this day, the numbers are debatable, but you could say they're the #1 recipient of U.S. foreign aid. And you hear a story like this, and you just wonder, where did it start? What kind of caused this strange foreign relation that we have with Israel? What does the United States benefit? And why is LBJ seemingly at the center of it all, especially when you consider the assassination of JFK, and Israel, one of many parties that had an interest in that as well?
Yeah, well, JFK wanted AIPAC register as a foreign agent, and he didn't like that Dimona deal one bit, and he told Ben Gurion that. And soon after that, I remember I was 16 years old when he was killed. I saw it on TV, and it was an awful day. I didn't, Oswald, you just believe all this stuff because your government's telling it to you. Yeah. But what they did, the land grab they wanted in 1967, Owen, didn't happen. Israel? Right. The land grab they wanted in 67 didn't happen because we didn't sink. There were SAC aircraft that had left Nebraska on their way to bomb Cairo even before our ship was attacked.
It's part of the plan.
Part of the plan. Part of the plan. And they almost got by with it, but they couldn't beat Jesus Christ. We were just his servants that day. And I'm still his servant. And I'm my shipmate's servant too. I'm here on behalf of my brave shipmates, all of them dead. We're all dying out. I mean, I'm almost 80. So we're all dying out. But I'm going to keep on yelling and screaming until the last breath I can take.